Are you ready to transform your leadership skills? You might be surprised to learn that 85% of leadership success comes from soft skills like emotional intelligence and resilience, not technical skills. Did you know that companies with high trust cultures outperform their competitors by nearly 300%? These aren't just numbers, they're game-changing insights you can apply right now. In this video, we'll explore 12 books that every leader should read. These aren't your typical leadership books. We're diving into the psychology behind what makes a great leader. From mastering influence to building resilience, these books offer strategies that can make you a more effective and inspiring leader. Ever wondered how small habits can lead to big changes? Or how understanding game theory can give you a strategic edge? We've got you covered. We'll also reveal why emotional intelligence is more important than IQ and how fostering psychological safety can boost your team's performance. Stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll have a toolkit of powerful strategies to elevate your leadership. Let's get started. 1. The Mind Master: Understanding Influence with Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion, by Robert Cialdini. When it comes to leading effectively, understanding influence is key. In Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion, Robert Cialdini dives into the science behind why people say yes. One of the most fascinating aspects of Cialdini's work is his 6 principles of influence. These include reciprocity, commitment, social proof, authority, liking, and scarcity. Did you know that simply giving someone a small gift can significantly increase the likelihood they will do something for you in return? This is the power of reciprocity in action. Cialdini's principle of social proof is also quite intriguing. It's why you're more likely to try a restaurant that's packed rather than one that's empty. As leaders, understanding these principles can help us craft more persuasive messages. For instance, showcasing team achievements can build credibility and trust. According to Cialdini, 95% of people are imitators and only 5% are initiators. This means that leaders who can demonstrate successful behaviors are likely to see their team follow suit. 2. Think Big: Unleashing Creativity with Think Again by Adam Grant. Adam Grant's Think Again is all about the power of rethinking and unlearning. Grant argues that the most successful leaders are those who are willing to change their minds. He introduces the concept of cognitive flexibility, which is the ability to shift your thinking. Did you know that being wrong can be a good thing? Grant points out that rethinking is a skill that can be developed. He shares that successful leaders don't just have better answers, they ask better questions. Grant also talks about the importance of mental agility. This is the ability to pivot and adapt to new information. For example, research shows that companies with a culture of learning and adaptability outperform their peers by 17% in profitability. Another compelling point from Grant is the idea of argumentative thinking, where engaging in debates and discussions can lead to better decision-making. Leaders who foster a culture where team members feel comfortable challenging ideas are more likely to innovate and grow. 3. Emotional Alchemy: Mastering EQ with Emotional Intelligence, by Daniel Goleman. Daniel Goleman's Emotional Intelligence is a game-changer for leaders. Goleman's research shows that emotional intelligence, EQ, can be even more important than IQ in leadership roles. In fact, EQ accounts for nearly 90% of what sets high performers apart from their peers. Goleman breaks down EQ into 5 key components: self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. Self-awareness is about understanding your own emotions. It's the first step to managing them effectively. Did you know that people with high self-awareness are better leaders? They tend to have a more realistic understanding of their strengths and weaknesses. Self-regulation involves controlling your impulses. Leaders who can stay calm under pressure are more effective in crises. According to Goleman, empathy is crucial. It allows leaders to connect with their team on a deeper level. Empathetic leaders build stronger, more loyal teams. Lastly, social skills are about managing relationships and building networks. Goleman emphasizes that leaders with strong social skills are great communicators, which is essential for any team's success. 4. Brain power. Cognitive strategies from Thinking, Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman. In Thinking, Fast and Slow, Daniel Kahneman explores the dual systems of thinking that drive our decisions. System 1 is fast, intuitive, and emotional, while System 2 is slower, more deliberate, and logical. Kahneman's research reveals that we often rely too much on System 1, which can lead to errors in judgment. For leaders, this insight is invaluable. It means we need to be aware of our cognitive biases and take steps to counteract them. One of the most interesting findings from Kahneman's work is the anchoring effect. This is when we rely too heavily on the first piece of information we receive. Did you know that even arbitrary numbers can influence our decisions? For example, if you see a high number before making an estimate, your estimate will likely be higher. Leaders can use this knowledge to make better decisions by deliberately considering multiple perspectives. Kahneman also highlights the importance of loss aversion. People tend to prefer avoiding losses over acquiring equivalent gains. This means that framing decisions in terms of avoiding loss can be more persuasive. For instance, telling a team they will lose a client if they don't meet a deadline can be more motivating than promising a bonus for meeting it. Kahneman's insights into human thinking provide leaders with powerful tools to understand and influence their teams more effectively. 5. Grit and Glory. Building Resilience with Grit by Angela Duckworth. Angela Duckworth's Grit is all about perseverance and passion. She defines grit as a combination of passion and perseverance for long-term goals. Did you know that grit can be a better predictor of success than talent? Duckworth's research shows that effort counts twice as much as talent in achieving success. This means that as leaders, fostering a culture of grit can lead to outstanding results. One fascinating fact from Duckworth's book is that gritty people view challenges as opportunities to learn and grow. They don't give up easily. Instead, they push through setbacks with determination. Duckworth introduces the concept of the growth mindset, which is the belief that abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. This mindset is crucial for leaders and teams aiming for continuous improvement. Studies show that teams with a growth mindset are 34% more likely to feel a strong sense of ownership and commitment to their company. 6. Mindful Mastery. Presence and Leadership with The Mindful Leader by Michael Carroll. In The Mindful Leader, Michael Carroll emphasizes the importance of mindfulness in leadership. Mindfulness is about being present and fully engaged in the moment. Carroll argues that mindful leaders are more effective because they are more aware of their actions and their impact on others. Did you know that practicing mindfulness can reduce stress and improve focus? Carroll's book provides practical exercises to cultivate mindfulness. One of the key strategies Carroll highlights is the pause. This involves taking a moment to breathe and reflect before responding to a situation. It helps leaders to respond rather than react. Research shows that regular mindfulness practice can increase gray matter in the brain, which is associated with improved emotional regulation and decision-making. Carroll also discusses the importance of compassionate leadership. Mindful leaders who show compassion can create more positive and productive work environments. 7. The Trust Factor. Building Bonds with The Speed of Trust by Stephen M. R. Covey. Stephen M. R. Covey's The Speed of Trust delves into the critical role of trust in leadership. Covey argues that trust is the one thing that changes everything. High-trust organizations are more efficient and effective. Did you know that high-trust companies outperform low-trust companies by nearly 300%? Covey identifies 13 behaviors that build trust, such as demonstrating respect, creating transparency, and righting wrongs. One powerful concept from Covey's book is the trust dividend. This is the economic benefit gained from having high trust within an organization. For example, when trust is high, communication is more effective, projects move faster, and costs decrease. Covey also introduces the idea of trust taxes, which are the costs incurred when trust is low. These include redundancies, bureaucracy, and missed opportunities. Leaders who focus on building and maintaining trust can drive their teams to achieve greater success. 8. Unleashing Potential. Growth Mindset from Mindset by Carol S. Dweck. Carol S. Dweck's Mindset explores the power of the growth mindset in leadership and personal development. Dweck explains that there are two types of mindsets: fixed and growth. A fixed mindset believes that abilities are static, while a growth mindset believes that abilities can be developed. Did you know that people with a growth mindset are more likely to embrace challenges and persist in the face of setbacks? Dweck's research shows that leaders with a growth mindset are more effective in developing their teams. They see potential in everyone and encourage continuous learning. One interesting fact is that companies that foster a growth mindset culture report 65% more employees feeling their companies support risk-taking and innovation. Dweck also discusses the importance of praising effort rather than talent. This encourages a focus on learning and improvement. Leaders who adopt and promote a growth mindset can inspire their teams to achieve higher levels of performance and innovation. 9. Strategic Genius. Thinking Ahead with The Art of Strategy by Avinash K. Dixit and Barry J. Nalibuff. The Art of Strategy by Avinash K. Dixit and Barry J. Nalibuff delves into the fascinating world of game theory and its applications in leadership. Game theory is the study of strategic decision-making. Leaders can use these principles to make better decisions by anticipating the actions of others. Did you know that companies using game theory can increase their competitive advantage significantly? One of the key strategies discussed in the book is thinking ahead and reasoning backward. This involves considering the possible reactions of others to your actions and planning accordingly. This method can help leaders create more effective strategies. For example, successful negotiators often use this technique to anticipate their counterparts' moves. Another interesting concept is the Nash equilibrium, where each player's strategy is optimal given the strategies of others. This can help leaders find stable solutions in competitive situations. 10. The Power of Habits. Transforming Leadership with Atomic Habits by James Clear. James Clear's Atomic Habits focuses on the power of small habits and their impact on leadership and life. Clear argues that making tiny changes can lead to remarkable results. Did you know that improving by just 1% each day can lead to a 37 times improvement over a year? This illustrates the power of incremental progress. Clear introduces the idea of habit stacking, where you build new habits by linking them to existing ones. For example, if you want to start meditating, you can do it right after your morning coffee. This makes the new habit more likely to stick. Clear also emphasizes the importance of identity in forming habits. Leaders who see themselves as organized and disciplined are more likely to adopt habits that reinforce this identity. According to Clear, the key to lasting change is focusing on who you want to become, not just what you want to achieve. 11. Resonant Leadership. Emotional Resonance with Primal Leadership by Daniel Goleman, Richard Boyatzis, and Annie McKee. Primal Leadership by Daniel Goleman, Richard Boyatzis, and Annie McKee explores the concept of emotional resonance in leadership. Emotional resonance is the ability of leaders to connect with their team on an emotional level. Did you know that emotionally resonant leaders can boost team performance by up to 20%? This is because they create positive emotional climates that enhance collaboration and motivation. The book highlights 6 leadership styles: visionary, coaching, affiliative, democratic, pace-setting, and commanding. Each style has its strengths and is effective in different situations. For example, the visionary style is great for setting a clear direction and inspiring others, while the coaching style is ideal for developing individuals. Goleman and his co-authors also discuss the importance of self-awareness and empathy in resonant leadership. Leaders who understand their own emotions and those of their team members can build stronger, more cohesive teams. 12. Psychological Safety. Fostering Innovation with The Fearless Organization by Amy C. Edmondson. Amy C. Edmondson's The Fearless Organization emphasizes the importance of psychological safety in fostering innovation and high performance. Psychological safety is the belief that one can speak up without fear of punishment or humiliation. Did you know that teams with high psychological safety are 27% more likely to be rated as effective by their leaders? This is because team members feel safe to take risks and share ideas. Edmondson provides practical strategies for building psychological safety, such as encouraging open dialogue and showing appreciation for diverse perspectives. Leaders can create a fearless organization by actively listening to their team and valuing their input. One interesting fact from the book is that companies with a culture of psychological safety are more innovative and adaptable. This is because employees are not afraid to experiment and learn from failures. Leaders who prioritize psychological safety can unlock their team's full potential and drive greater success.